Hi everyone, Happy New Year. This is Sandy Reese with Stampin'Crew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season, and I, for one, am very thankful that it's over and we're ready to start 2024. I have a great card today. Now this is using products from the annual catalog, but we're going to do some fun techniques. We're going to do some masking using our blending brushes, some spattering, heat embossing, all kinds of stuff. I don't usually do a huge technique video, but that's what we're going to do today. But before we get started, just want to remind you that our January 7th, we have our new mini catalog coming out. We have our celebration event starting out this for the next couple of months. We have new online exclusives. We have a new scrapbooking brochure. We have a ton of new stuff coming on the 7th. So be watching for that. And please click subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And I'm jumping on a little bit early because I scheduled an appointment for noon. It was with the time change person, and I thought it was for 2 and it's for 12, so I'm jumping on early. But it's with Norwegian Cruise Line, and we're getting ready to get our stamping cruise for 2026 lined up and ready to go. We're going to New England and Canada. So more information will be coming on that. If you would like to know about that, please subscribe to my newsletter. Information will be going out about that, and then I'll talk about it on my videos once we get that set up. So lots of fun. We've already been to the Caribbean, we've been to Alaska, and now we're doing Canada and New England. So very excited about that coming up. Okay, so let me show you what the products we're going to be using today. We're going to use the Under the Moon stamp set. This is in the annual catalog. I'm trying to avoid the glare there. We're going to be just using this moon right here. Then we're using the Unbounded Love stamp set. We're going to do a birthday card. And then I am using the Forever Forest dies, which has a ton of pine trees and the mountains. I'm going to do the mountain and then this tall pine tree. And then it also has a little crescent moon. It has stars, some little clouds and different things. We're just going to use these two today. Okay, so we are going to start with a Night of Navy card base. We're just going to set that aside. We've got a layer of gray granite, okay? Then we've got a couple pieces of white. The larger one's going to be for the inside. We're going to stamp on that too. I'll set that aside. And then this smaller one is where all the magic's going to happen. All right, so let's get started with our base. All right, we're going to use gray granite and our moon. And this is going to be a little darker. Hold on, I'm going to grab some Post-it notes. And I'm going where the sticky part is. I'm going to stamp this full strength up here. Where the sticky note is. Maybe I need to do that a little further down. Hold on. Let me get a solid edge up there. It's got kind of this open area there that's not completely circular. All right. I'm going to take 2 of those off. And then I'm going to use my 2 3/8 inch circle punch. I'm going to punch out this moon. Ooh, that's actually a little bigger than I want it. Okay, hold on. Let me get a 2 1/4 inch. A 2 1/4 inch circle punch, that's what we want. Because we want to just cut out right inside the line. All right, so what that's going to do is give us a mask. All right, I'm going to see how strong that is. That's not too bad. All right, now I'm going to stamp the moon down right in the center, but maybe a 1/2 inch down from the top. All right. Now, if we could do it a little lighter if we want. I'm going to stamp off once and then do a lighter moon there. You know what? I think I like that lighter moon. Let's just do this and stamp off once. And then get this centered down just a little bit. There, that looks better. Okay, we're done with our gray granite and with the moon. All right, we're going to take the mask and cover up our moon. And I'm going to start with some Night of Navy and a blending brush. And we're going to just start doing our sky very lightly. We're going to add more and more color. I'm going to try not to shake it too much. I'm not worried about getting too far down all the way to the bottom. That's going to be covered. Okay, but what we do want to do is have it going, have it getting darker as it goes out. Okay, add more color here. I know that's probably shaking, so sorry about that. I think I might actually do a little darker around the moon, even though that's kind of opposite, but it gives a cooler effect. Okay, and it makes our moon pop a lot more. All right. Now, I might come back with that in a minute. I'm going to take some Memento, and I'm just using I already have a small blending brush here, and I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to do the black. Whoop. I don't want that happening. We want to keep our mask in place. And it will get damp over time, so you gotta be watching for that. I'm just gonna go out from here. Okay. Of course, you can keep going and use as much, get as dark as you want. I almost want it like black, like night sky. And I'm getting my fingers all messy. Okay, I'm just kind of smoothing out what we've got now. All right, let's see how that looks. Let's take that off. Not too bad. I'm gonna get on my, look at my inky fingers here. Get a little hand sanitizer and see if we can clean up some of our mess. Okay, on our fingers. All right, what we're gonna do, let's take a little bit of our sand eraser and just lighten up where we got a little brushed ink there. Okay, just takes that right off. Okay, so no worries if you get just a little light brush under there, you can clean that off. Okay, so next we're going to do a little splattering. So I'm going to take, I've got a little jar of water and just a paintbrush. You can use an aqua paint or two if you want. And I'm going to grab some of our Whisper White. And let me open this back up. I did not do that. I'm going to put a little dot of ink refill right there. I don't want too much water, just a little bit, because I want it to stay white. And I'm just gonna tap this just to give it a little bit of night sky. That's probably enough. And then if you want, if you have a nice juicy, what do you call this? Wink of Stella, you can tap a little bit of that too, and that'll give it a little bit of sparkle. You could even mix some of this Wink of Stella in with your white to give your white sparkle too. Okay, we're gonna let this dry for a couple of minutes. And you have to be careful because it goes flying everywhere. I'm gonna wipe this, make sure I don't get it on anything else because that white does take a while. We're gonna heat set that too in just a minute. I'm gonna let that dry for a second. Now I've got a piece of black here that is the same width as my white, and I'll post measurements on my blog. But I am going to die cut our mountains. And I wanna make sure we cover it up a little bit. So right about here is where I want my mountains to go. I'm gonna come maybe 1/3 of an inch down on the black from the top. I think this is 3 1/4 inches high. Is how tall this is, and I'll post measurements on my blog. Let's pull in our Big Shot die cutting machine, whatever you have. And and we're going to cut some mountains. All right, I can save that for later. Reverse mountains. Okay, so now we have our mountains. This is going to go right here. And then I want to emboss our sentiment. So we're going to pull our white back in since we're already using that. Use our embossing buddy. I could have even made those mountains a little bit higher. Look how that powder kind of brings out little details in that mountain. All right, we're going to just stamp Happy Birthday using our white right here. Pretty. All right, and then we'll grab some white embossing powder. And then we'll heat that up, and then we'll also use our heat tool to kind of set our splatter. So let's grab this. If you haven't done heat embossing, this is so much fun, and you can just see it turning shiny as it heats it. It takes a minute to get going, and then it goes pretty quickly. All right, let's make sure that this is dry. Heat the back so it's a little flatter. All right, now if you have a paper towel or something, you can flip that over. Just kind of press like that and make sure that there's nothing wet. Still, it'll take a little bit. We just have to be careful that we don't smear. Okay, we are ready to, let's make sure we've got it. Yeah, that looks good. Let's adhere this, adhere our mountain range. I just want to make sure I don't have any white showing. And then I have pre-cut a tree just to save a little bit of time. I cut out the large tree from Mossy Meadow. And let's pop this up. We're just going to grab a couple little dimensionals. put a few, let's do one more. I did try to get it right where you won't see them. Okay, I'm going to glue together before I put that on. So let's, and I usually cut the black just slightly whiter than the white. Let's just trim a little bit of that black off. I had done this card actually as a swap for our last cruise, and I was just thinking I hadn't shared this with you. So I wanted to go ahead and share it since we're getting ready to plan our next cruise. Okay. Just like that. Let's pop up our tree right here in the foreground. Oh, I got a little bit of white showing from that mini dimensional. Let me see if I can squish it over. Whoop, I squished it over. Okay. And for the inside, we have our moon, and then we're going to stamp, let's see, we'll do it in navy. It says, may all your wishes come true. I'm going to just stamp it over to the right. Just something kind of different. Doesn't have to be in the center all the time. Well, let's put that right there. And where's our envelope? Let's grab our envelope and stamp our moon. One time on our, oh, I already stamped on my envelope. There you go. Stamp your envelope to match. And that's it. We made a little bit of a mess, but you know what? I usually make 4 at a time if I'm going to make cards, so that I have them. And yeah, might as well be messy. If you have a pumice stone, this will get the ink right off. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's project. Let's see if we can get a little closer there. Isn't that pretty? And you know, you can add more. Let me show you my original one. I had done a little bit more of the blue and I got it darker. Probably had a re-inked my ink pad, so it's a little darker. But yeah, just depending on how much you add to the sky, you can make it lighter or darker. So I hope you enjoyed today's project, and I will see you back here on Saturday. All right, bye everyone. Oh, let's see. Hi Sherry. I'm just gonna check and see who's on. Hi Sherry Lindley. All right, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.